So we kind of went over a few things. We want to talk about some of the good things, the benefits. So, although Brian and I, before we got into this professionally, we were just little kids hacking away, building little programs and websites, and we were just little guys in our parents' basement. So we obviously had a passion for this early on. And the main thing that attracted us to this was because it was fun and challenging.
I remember the first time I got a job, like really developing, opposed to just kind of doing, sometimes you do like desktop support kind of stuff, you do kind of whatever sort of bullshit work or like web development, like very basic HTML kind of stuff. But the first time I started working as, really getting into writing code, I thought to myself, oh my god, I'm getting paid to do this.
Yes!
Like, this is insane. I can't believe they're paying me to do this. So, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. I could definitely relate. I had a very similar experience. Yeah. When one of my first programming gigs was doing websites. So I remember getting checks for that. And I was like, whoa! I do this when I'm bored, and I'm actually getting paid to do this. So this is good stuff.
And you can spend their money on, servers and all sorts of crazy stuff that you never had the ability to buy before. So instead of just having, like, old laptops with no screens that worked in, like, an old Dell from the mid-'80s to kind of do your stuff on, now you have, like, a server room. It's awesome. It's really pretty cool.
So that kind of bleeds into the next point here is it's very gratifying work. I mean, when you build something and, whether you're building a product, we've worked in different jobs, we've built different types of products, but when you see that product being used and how it benefits the company financially, how it benefits the customer functionally and also financially, because it saves them time, it saves them money, you definitely feel a great sense that I did something important, I did something good. Even though you're there for hire, you did your job, but you did your job well, and the outcome of your, it's not like you're some lawyer that somebody burned themselves on some copy and you sued an elementary school and you took all their funding away, and that's how you got your money. That's not gratifying. That's disgusting. This is a complete opposite of that.
Right. The role of a software developer is very important. Most businesses wouldn't be able to function without software development.
Most? I think at this point we're at all.
Pretty much, yeah. So it's extremely important. Every industry needs software.
Absolutely. Even if it's just QuickBooks or Microsoft Word, it's necessary.
Mm-hmm. So if there's an industry that you're passionate about, don't focus on the fact that you need to work for a development company or a tech company. Focus on an industry that you're passionate about, and they will have a need for software development, because every industry needs it.
Always a need. Absolute. That's a very good point. We are also very fortunate to be in one of the highest paid in most respected professions. I know the U.S.
Yeah.
I know that when I tell people what I do, a lot of times you get that look.
You read code? That's weird, I'm like, well, I guess, yeah, I suppose. I don't usually think about it that way, but whatever. You also get to work in very creative environments.
Sometimes. Parentheses.
On occasion, you basically will just be working to get a paycheck. You'll be doing what you're told, and just take it as something to put on your resume. It's a stepping stone job, and move on. But generally speaking, you'll always be working in creative environments with other people who are looking to work in creative environments, and other creative people that you can bounce ideas back and forth on.
Being a software developer, you get to have a lot of exposure to a lot of different things. I mean, so if you're writing writing software, you may have to learn a lot about things like databases, libraries for, whether you're running COM objects or that sort of thing, web services, file formats, that kind of stuff.
When some people want to get into computer science, they're kind of offered two options early on. One is going as a computer scientist, as a developer, or as an information technology specialist. And those are two very drastically different paths.
Extremely different.
So IT applications is fixing computers, installing stuff, making sure that they have power. That's applications of information technology. Software development is a different arm. And in that other arm, it spans the gamut of everything technological. I mean, from embedded programming in devices that have to function 200 meters underwater, to hardware that has to work in outer space, to everything. So from the backbone of the internet and how it functions and how to improve on it, to rendering engines for the newest video games.
But think about all the things that you mentioned, and if you're working in these projects, imagine the amount of things that you learn just from being a part of it. Mm-hmm. Just imagine what the NASA engineers that put us in the moon had to go through.
Yeah.
and with what they walked away with.
Or even the people working on Hubble now. But there's still a lot of software developers working on all sorts of fun stuff.